are here in the trails at Maryville College and just thought it was beautiful and we wanted to stop and share something with you today.
Today we were talking about expectations.
Yes. My first awareness of expectations was I was traveling by myself down the coast of Mexico to this little town called Colima, where I was just at this hotel enjoying the view by the ocean, sitting in the pool, and this family came and I just noticed their dynamics and how much I just felt this love for them. And I thought it was so interesting how I just loved them, but I didn't know them. And there was something that clicked in my mind that there was nothing I expected of them. I was just enjoying how they interacted with each other. And something in that just had me realize that ultimately expectations kill love.
Makes the love conditional. So I love you, but I expect you to act this way, or I see the potential that you have, and I'm just in love with that potential, that idealization of yourself that I have in my mind only, and that you're not there yet, or you may never want it to be there.
Right.
But then I just hold that image in me, and I'm in love with that expectation of you. So you will never be enough for me. And then I will just put that energy out in our relationship, right? And I think with you being with that family, it was pure love because you know them, you don't have any relationship with them.
I expected nothing of them.
Right. They were just them. And your vision and your perspective of them was very clear.
Yes.
You were just loving them for what they were, right?
So as I had that realization later that night, I texted Alonzo about it and was like, okay, I had this epiphany. What do you think about it? And this was before we were actually really officially a couple.
Right.
And it, well, tell me, like, what was your initial thought about that?
Yeah, I think it was just very refreshing to think in that way, to really start a relationship without expectations. We put it as our motto, as our slogan. We always said, like, no expectations. I love you, I want to live with you, but no expectations.
Yeah, I'm not expecting you to want this like in a month or a day or...
Right. And then it felt like some kind of exercise that we were doing, some kind of mantra that we were doing in a way that it was like, fake it till you make it.
Right. Fake it till you make it.
Because you always have expectations.
Right.
There's like expectations are everywhere, and it's just so difficult to just say like, boom, no expectations.
Right.
So we just worked through it, like, for
recognizing
it.
Right, recognizing when there is an expectation. Right.
But then, like, having no expectation in a relationship allow us to be ourselves and not be afraid of feeling like shit and not wanting to do anything. And you could say it.
Yeah, like I woke up this morning and like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I'm just in a grief day. And maybe the day before we had wanted to do a video.
Right.
And so, but the expectation is like, oh, this is where you are today. Or taking the expectation off.
Exactly.
This is where you are today. And okay.
Yeah. And whatever you're doing or being or how you're feeling, no expectation, you're you. You have the space to be you. And that it feels so good and so relaxing, but also so comfortable. Because you're conditioned and you're very used to everyone having an expectation from you. So when the other person don't have anything, it's just like, oh, shit, like, am I in trouble? Am I hurting you?
Right.
Am I drowning you in my sorrow? Fuck. And it's hard to get used to that. It's hard to be comfortable in that space.
Yes.
But then you start to realize that it's safe, it's natural, and it's the natural way of nature. The tree is not expecting that the other one doesn't fall. If the tree that is next to it falls, it will still grow the same way. So it's unnatural to have expectations, and that's why it hurts everything around it.
And that's why I say it kills love. I think a little bit too of feeling no expectations from you and just love allowed me to understand how in previous relationships and the majority of my relationships have operated with expectations. And I put those expectations on myself.
Right.
And not having them anymore has been this catalyst to help me really feel down into who I am and who I want to be, and release myself from those expectations that cause me fatigue or cause me anxiety or cause me all of these things that aren't in my natural state of joy.
Right.
So it's also been a gift in that way too.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. And I feel like in that way, we're also going back and maybe try to put together the last video of how we can create our own world. Not having expectations is allowing us to taking care of who we are and how we're feeling, and releasing the expectations on ourselves little by little, being more authentic and taking that power back.
It's like taking responsibility for my own self and not putting my expectations on you, which is giving you the power. Because if I expect you to treat me in some way and I can't be happy if you don't, then that gives you the power. And so
Right.
taking that expectation off and saying, I'm just going to be happy no matter who and how you are today.
Right.
And not taking your, like say you wake up angry one day, not taking that anger as mine and expecting Alonzo to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Takes that expectation off, and it takes my power back. I get to be who I want, regardless of how he wakes up.
Yeah. And you start to realize that that's how it's supposed to be, or at least that's how we prefer to our relationship. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.